Hello, welcome to another video. Today I'm taking a look at the newly released Project Trident, which is now using Void Linux. So this is the 20.02 stable image. I've just got it booted onto an old laptop here, so we're going to go and run through the installer together. Welcome to Project Trident installation image. An internet connection is required to perform the installation. I'm connected to the internet, so that should be fine. Okay, ready to begin installation. Network status online. Select an option below. Begin. Select and install a version to run. We're going to go for this one here. We're going to go for that. We're going to go for that. Yep. Enter a password for root. Let's do our root password. Okay. Keyboard's not typing any characters in. It's working though, because if I was to press something else. Hold on a moment, let me see if I've got a spare USB to my keyboard and mouse switch. We'll plug it into the main keyboard and mouse. I've got a cable somewhere. There we go. Let's plug this into the USB on the laptop and then I'll switch it over to this laptop and we'll see if this mouse and keyboard will let us type some characters in. Alright, is it off the host? Shall we try? Aha, right. Let's try that again. Oh, it says hidden text. There you go, so it'd help if we was to actually read. I'd like it if there were some characters though, like some little stars or something. Okay, let's try this. Hopefully we have backspaced all of the characters that might have been there. Okay, let's do that again and hopefully all is well. Perfect. So the keyboard does work. It was just... never mind. Select a system host name, that'll do. Select a ZFS pool name, Trident, that will do. Okay, so we have here. Select a package set to install. Packages are easily changed later. So we have full, which is the desktop install with many extra utilities. You have light, which is the desktop install only. You have server, which is a base system setup only. And then you have bare bones installed on a ZFS. We're going to go for the full. And we're going to enter a username. Yep. You have to have 8 characters for your password. I've read that in the documentation. So let's just go for that. And let's do the same again. Perfect. I do think it would be nicer if you could see some like circles or asterisks or something with the password there. So, do you wish to begin the installation? This may take 30 minutes or more depending on hardware capabilities and network connection speeds. System host name, yep, that's fine. Hard drive, yep. Got 4 gig swap. Package type, libc. Packages to install, ZSH, sorry, fish shell, fire, jail, OpenVPN, NeoFetch, wget, Trident core, blah blah blah. Yep, all looks good to me. So we're going to go for yes. So that's going to format the disk, erasing the first 500 megabytes. Okay, installation finished unsuccessfully. Well, that's not good, is it? Let's try it again. Right, password for root. Desktop install. It might be because of the type of hard drive here. It's not a proper hard drive. This is one of those sort of laptops with the flash memory. Let's try it again. It might be that I have to switch over to a different laptop. Okay, I'm going to try it on a different machine, so we'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're on a different machine now. We're going to use the laptop that I do the distro spinner videos of. Not ideal, because then I'm going to have to go back and install the distro that was on it before to do the follow-up, but never mind. So let's run through this again. Right, hopefully we don't run into the same problem that we ran in before. Okay, that seems to be doing what it's doing. So I guess it just didn't like the flash memory on the other laptop. So I'm going to pause the video now and then come back to it once it's done. Okay, we're at the desktop now. I had a bit of fun having to set the mirror up for the display. So hopefully the display has not cut off anything and that it's got everything that we need on the screen. Here's your desktop though. Fairly nice and simple desktop. You have a bar at the bottom with a battery icon here and then a interactable clock there. To your bottom left you have your application launcher, and then let's browse which applications it comes with out of the box. So we have Lumina Text Editor, LibreOffice Draw, Lumina Image Viewer, Lumina Screenshot, Lumina Media Player, Pandora Internet Radio, Pulse Audio and Volume Control, VLC Media Player, Firefox for your web browser. It's even got Telegram installed out of the box. That's pretty cool. Let's keep going. So we got to Telegram, didn't we? You got Trident for your email client. You have the full LibreOffice suite, desktop configuration in your settings, Lumina screen configuration, Lumina theme engine, screensaver terminal. Compton is your compositor. It's not enabled by default. I've already enabled that though. Okay, it's not opened up Telegram anywhere, is it? I wonder why that is. There it is. Right, we're going to leave that closed. So can we pin icons here? No. So you just have to close the window. Okay. Right, so let's start off with some of these desktop icons. So we've done Lumina theme. Let's go to desktop configuration. Desktop settings. Right. So again, we'll go through this. So this is the theme. Effects. So you can add effects. We've enabled compositor, so that should all work. Change your fonts. Icons there, we have Le Trident Dark. Let's try Material Design Dark and see what that one looks like. Okay, not too bad. It removes the... Oh no, it gives you a different icon there. Pretty cool. Okay, let's go back to Le Trident Dark and click apply. And we are back. Okay, cursors, general styles, and desktop styles. So that was your theming. In wallpaper you have a simple sort of wallpaper switcher here where you can search through folders. Windows effects, so this is the effects that we have on. By default that will be checked, but we've unchecked it. So we've got shadows, true, we've got a dock shadow, true. I'll probably turn dock shadow off, blur background, etc. So let's go back to there. That was Windows effects. Now let's have a look at Windows Manager. Okay, so you can change some of these flags here, like true, false and stuff, to change some of these settings there. Let's go back. Applications. So is this just to set your default application? So in your web browser, your default application is Firefox. Your file manager is Insight File Manager, which we will take a look at in a moment. Trident is your email client, and then your terminal is Q Terminal. And in the Advanced tab, you have a lot more. Oh, wallpaper's just changed. So I'm going to assume that the wallpaper switcher is on like a timer. Let's go back to wallpaper. There we go. So it's changing the wallpaper every 5 minutes. I'd probably change that if I was to use it. So we was in applications, auto start. So here is how you'd add things to auto start. Keyboard shortcuts. So what are their defaults? Let's have a look at workspace. So take to workspace 1, control. So it's using the function keys. Let me see if I can do that with my function keys. Let's try workspace 9, which is F9. There we go. And then if we go back to F1, there you go. So that's how you'd switch workspaces. There's a few ways of doing it. And you can obviously send other applications to different workspaces. I'll probably change those defaults myself. In desktop now you have embedded utilities. So if you was to press plus, select a plugin. Okay, so that would just be like an application launcher, I'm going to assume. Let's click cancel. And then let's go back. And in here you can edit the menu, your right click menu, I'm going to assume, which is this. So let's do a right click and see what you get. So you get a terminal, browse files. You can go through all of the applications by category. You've got your home file there and also your root. You can enter your preferences here as well. You can lock your session. You can do some new folder, new file, and then you can also leave your session. Very nice. Let's go back. Panels. So we've got one panel at the moment. Oh no, we've got two apparently. Okay, so is that two panels next to each other then? I'm going to assume it is. So in the first panel we have Start, Menu, Task Manager, Spacer, System Tray, Time and Date. And then in the second panel, which I'm not too sure quite where that is. Oh, it's up here, look at that. So you have Favourites folder, Favourite application. Is that the panel that is mentioning there? I'm not too sure. Huh, interesting. Right, let's go back. And then in system settings, you've got the Lumina screen configuration. I'm not going to open that at the moment because I had a bit of a nightmare with that getting the mirror working. I'll show you what I've had to do there. So it's saying 1080i, so I've had to do some funniness with the capture card and OBS. So hopefully when you watch it, it will be the right resolution. Let's close that. Lumina theme engine. I do believe we've had a look at that. Yep, there's your theme engine. Oh, where are you going? Desktop settings. Let's go back to that. Right, that was desktop, so menu, panels we've looked at, Lumina screen configuration, Lumina theme engine, screensaver I'm not too worried about, user settings, general options. Let's have a look here. So enable numlock on startup, play chimes. I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to turn that one off. And I'm going to leave that as is, so let's click save. Okay, so that's all of our desktop settings. Let's just have a little sort of play around now and see how it handles everything. So I'm going to open up their file manager, Insight File Manager, and I'm going to see if it's got side-by-side splitting out of the box. No, at least not with mouse and dragging, it doesn't. Okay, so let's full screen this and have a look at this file manager here. So you get sort of shortcuts to the left, and then can you change the way that looks, or is that just a zoom? Dual column view. Let's go to click here. View, file operations. No, what are these buttons here? Increase icon size, decrease icon size. Oh, and then you can get a dual view as well. Very nice. And then up here you have sort of your files and bookmarks, etc. So you can bookmark things. Let's add a bookmark to documents and see how that handles that. So let's go to bookmarks. Add a bookmark, which you can also do with Control D. Name. So the new bookmark is, yeah, whatever. Right, so now if we go to bookmarks, there you go. So you could jump straight into there and you can set that to whatever you want. That's quite handy. Right, let's close. Actually, I'll see what a right click looks like on here. So you have open with, rename, cut, paste, delete, archive options, view files, and then create a launcher or something. Nope, file, application launcher, and directory. Okay, cool. So that's their file manager there. Let's close that. And then let's have a look at what other Lumina applications it actually comes with. So we've done the theme. So here's Lumina Archiver for, like, you know, compressing and extracting files. Let's keep it going with the Lumina stuff. We have Lumina file information. Let's open up that one. Okay. Let's keep it going. We have Lumina media player. Let's have a look. So this is Pandora Radio that is open there for some strange reason. I don't think I have a Pandora account. So did that just open that? Do I have to? Okay. I'm not going to sign into there. So you could also have a now playing. And then it would play it there and give you a sort of a little view of what you're listening to. Very nice. Okay. Let's keep it going with the Lumina stuff. Lumina image viewer. So it's very simple. You can scroll through left to right, zoom in, fit to windows. Let's keep going. Lumina screenshots. Let's have a look at their screenshot application. So that's just taken one straight away, isn't it? So if I wanted to do a new one, let's go to capture, and then I can do things like that. Can I? Yes. And then what else can we do? So can we go to, so if I press print screen, let's discard that one. Will it do it there as well? There you go. So it's got the print screen screenshot shortcut there as well. So we're going to discard that. Just save that and then see how it saves things. So we go to pictures, save, super simple. Perfect. Right, that's the screenshot. Let's keep it going with other Lumina stuff. I don't know if there's that much there that we haven't looked at now. So that was screenshot. Lumina search. So let's say Telegram, and then there you go. And then if you was to double click that, it would launch the application you've just searched for, or file. You might have to click launch icon, launch item. Okay, so what else do we have here? That was all of the Lumina stuff, wasn't it? Yes. Right, let's see if you have to just click launch item then. Yeah, so a launch item will then open that for you. Let's open up their terminal now. And I just want to see how much RAM and stuff we are using. So Q terminal. I don't know if it has HTOP installed out of the box, so let's have a look. No, so let's install. Is this based on Void Linux? Sudo apk add or something, isn't it? How do you? I can't even remember. It's been a while. Hold on, let me just. Is it apk add? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's like apk add or something. Install applications void. And there's package management. APK. I might be thinking of a different Linux distribution, you know. Yeah, I think I am. Oh, I'm thinking of Alpine. I don't know why I was thinking of Alpine. Does this have Flatpak out of the box? Let's have a look. No. So how would you install a new program on Void Linux? Let's have a look. Enter the void. Okay. Installing and updating a single package. Right, xbpps install -s pkg. If pkg is installed, right, let's try that. So let's just go. Might need sudo. We'll try it without first. xbps install, and then it wants the S flag. Is that a capital S? Do believe it is. And let's try htop. Right, let's try it with sudo now. Type in our sudo password. Bang. Right, so that's going to update it and then grab the package for us, and if we click Y, that will install it. So that's the how you install packages from the terminal there. Not used that before. It's also given us a HTOP icon on the desktop. So then HTOP's now reporting that we're using 1.4 gigabytes out of 16. CPU utilization's at barely anything. So what I'm going to do now is do a reboot and then get a fresh sort of RAM reading of that, and then we're going to wrap up the video there. But it's a bit, oh, and we've got a tray here as well, so you can see programs that run in the background will be there. So let's quit Telegram now. I'm going to do a straight reboot and then get a nice RAM reading and just wrap up the video there, because I can hear a storm just starting and it's going to be picked up on the microphone. Okay, press enter for boot. Welcome to Void. Okay, let's log in and then straight away get the terminal open. So it's using 700 megabytes and it's got a fair few packages installed for you out of the box though, and it does feel quite snappy to use. That's been Project Trident 20.02, the first one with using sort of stable, the first stable release using Void anyway. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.